is I always love when it's snowing so heavy that it's just like the whole sky is filled with snowflakes. It doesn't even look like they're going up or down. It's just like it's just filled with it, just suspended above the earth. I like to imagine myself like a whale, like the snowflakes are like plankton, and I'm just like a big whale swimming through the sky, catching snow in my teeth. Yeah, I think the big thing to me about winter is thinking about. It's like when I was a kid. It's because there's bugger all on TV and stuff like that. So you just go outside when it starts snowing, go for a walk the streets. There's nobody out there, and it's like the world gets quieter the more the snow hits the ground. The more it hits, the quieter it gets.
Insulating the sound.
Yeah.
You know it's quiet when you can hear the snow hit the ground. That's quiet.
Yeah.
And it's an eerie feeling because you can actually hear something that you shouldn't be able to hear. But the quietness
Is it you shouldn't hear it or you should hear it? You should have always heard it maybe.
Yeah.
You know, isn't that the idea? Is like that's one of those moments where you realize, man, I'm catching something I should have caught.
Yeah.
A million times and I didn't.
And no matter what kind of equipment you have, you're never gonna catch the sound of snow. It's something that only your ears can hear. True fact.
Is that a true fact?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Scientific.
Is this, if I Google this right now, it'll be verified?
Yeah. Yeah. Nikon and Canon, all those companies, right on their webpage, cannot capture the sound of snow.
Capturing the sound of snow.
It's only in your mind. Which is magic, really.
Sound of falling snow.
When I was little, I used to dress up like Little House on the Prairie's Laura Ingalls.
Nice.
And I used to make igloos with holes in the top and actually have fires and roast weenies and marshmallows with my brother. But the best thing I ever did was I got super slider snow skates when I was 7, and I swear to God, if I had super slider snow skates now at 50, I would be in heaven. We used to go down a little ditch, and it seemed so far, but it was really only about 4 or 5 feet. But those were the greatest things. You tied them onto your boots. They were red and plastic, and you just laced them up to your boots, and they would stick out from your boot about that much. And you could give her super slider snow skates.
Yeah, I remember the commercials.
And I used to go in home frozen solid. Like sometimes I would sit down and I didn't even know I was sitting because I couldn't feel anything. My bones were so cold.
That's awesome.
And my dad used to make us an ice rink out in the backyard.
Did he?
And
That's not easy.
I was Boreas Salming, number 21. My brother was Daryl Sittler, number 27. And we were rock stars.
I was Ian Turnbull, number 2.
Yeah, of course. You gotta eat your cheesecake.
So
It must have been when I was like 6. Every year we go to my grandparents' house for like, not like too long, right? But we'd go for like 3 weeks, just like the entire break we'd be there. And like we were in Montreal, my grandparents are in like the boonies, like 1,000 people village. And so it's just like more up north, there's like crazy amounts of snow. And me and my cousin decided we're gonna go sledding, just fun, right? But it's like just in our backyard. So I go sledding, we're like picking up speed, and there's no way to stop it except for the balcony that was just right at the bottom of the hill.
A balcony?
It was like a balcony, just like up in the front, just in our front yard. It was just like that much snow that like it made a hill of snow.
Oh, okay.
So I just like broke my nose open and I was like bleeding all over the place. And looking back on it, I should have known that like there was only one way to stop it. It was just like the way, like, as I was short, like I was like 6, right? So just like my face like was the perfect height for my nose to stop the fall. I was like in front of the sled too, so it was like a 2-person thing. So with the momentum of me and my older cousin
coming right behind you.
Yeah. So that's the story. It's a quick story.
I like that.
Nice and short.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just probably the best nosebleed I've ever had.
There's nothing like a nosebleed in the snow either. Because I know I've had them like playing road hockey, whatever, something stupid happens. Blood in the snow.
In the Virginia Whitney Place area are absolutely impassable. Cars are locked in by snow and ice for blocks around. Officials are just hoping that there won't be another fire here before the area finally comes up on the priority list for snow removal. Ron Arnold, First T News.
Attempts are being made to return the postal service in western New York to normal. Postmaster William Miller has called up all his personnel and says it will still take 3 to 4 days to get completely back to normal. That is, if we don't get any more snow. More on the postal situation from L.B. Lyon.
Many of the suburban post offices made attempts today to make home deliveries again. The Amherst area, for example, was cleaned up enough that home deliveries were resumed. The hard-hit areas such as Marilla, Lancaster, and Alden and some of the southern county sections were not as lucky as delivery men could not get through.
Believe it or not, some communities in Erie County kept their snow plows a step ahead of the storm, like Lackawanna, Tonawanda, and Amherst. But a little village just north of Buffalo continues to amaze some.
Kenmore has always had a good reputation for moving snow. They do it quickly, efficiently, and constantly. Kenmore was in good shape this week while Buffalo reeled in the blizzard. Today, Kenmore crews spent their time tidying up streets and rearranging the piles in Mang Playground, just in case they need more room. Sure, you say, Kenmore is good, but they restrict parking. It would be a different story if they had to plow Buffalo. Sunday, Kenmore shattered that idea. They volunteered to clear a big chunk of snowbound North Buffalo with just 5 plows and 3 tractors.
It kind of scared me to see the situation as it was with all the abandoned cars that were in the middle of the intersections. And the first thing we had to do was remove the cars, and we had to tow them over to the curb line so we could get a plow down the street to do anything. We had so many cars parked along the streets.
Here's an example of the difference the Kenmore plowing in North Buffalo made. This is Beard Avenue in Buffalo. Not bad, huh? Well, this was plowed by Kenmore 3 days ago. Now take a look at Beard on the other side of Hurdle Avenue, where the Kenmore plows didn't go. That's the difference. It will be a long time before anyone forgets this storm, but it will be even longer before North Buffalo residents forget what Kenmore did for them when they needed it most.
They come through with their plows. I saw about 6 of them go up and down about 3 or 4 times. They know how to plow, and they don't mess around.
Did they do a better job than Buffalo?
A lot better.
Hi. Thank goodness Super Duper stores are open and are doing everything possible to keep supplies rolling into the stores. Because of the weather conditions this week, be sure to check for in-store specials that could save you money at Super Dupers throughout this area.
Today that 2 things stand out to me. One of the things that I really used to enjoy doing as a rebellious, good-for-nothing kid was bumper hitching. I thought bumper hitching was just such a rush. It's just
Bumper hitching. I forgot about bumper hitching.
It was. The adrenaline was flowing, and when I let go of the car, it was just one of the most greatest things that's ever happened. And I also remember
Where would you do this?
Anywhere, everywhere. Down Scott Street, down Bunting Road,
Thank you.
on our way to school, on our way home from school. We used to bumper hitch everywhere all the time. And it wasn't safe. We never got hurt, but it wasn't
It
safe.
wouldn't be safe at all. You never got hurt, not one time.
No, no, I never got hurt.
So another thing was,
there was a guy that I didn't like, and he had thrown a snowball at me. This is grade 6, and I thought I gotta get him back. This is on the way to school. So I hid behind a hedge, and he was in line with the crossing guard, and then traffic stopped, and then the traffic guard went out there with the sign, and I stood up from behind the hedge and I drilled a snowball, and it was going right at him, and he ducked, and I hit the traffic guard right in the head. And the traffic guard went and complained, and he knew that I had thrown it, and I got the strap. Yeah.
where'd you get strapped? Hands? How many times you were?
I think 3 on each hand for throwing a snowball. But I didn't throw the snowball in the crossing guard. And then the principal, actually it was the vice principal, Mr. Ripley. He didn't believe me. He thought that I was trying to throw a snowball in the crossing guard. And it's like, I told him I was throwing it at John Rapchuk.
John Rapchuk. You ever see John Rapchuk?
Occasionally.
Did you guys overcome this thing between you?
He thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But now, not only did he beat me hard with the snowball, he also didn't get hit when I threw a snowball, and I got the strap.
Yeah, things can't work out any better now.
He's got like 4 up on me. I always like snow. I still like snow. I like snow.
You sound defensive about that, like somebody recently.
Everybody at work, they get angry when Buffalo got 6 feet of snow last week. I said that would be so cool. I would love to get 6 feet of snow. Holy crap! What are you, an idiot or something? Nobody would ever want 6 feet of snow ever. And I go, I would. I don't mind 6 feet of snow. You know what? It's different. It's a change. It's something that you wouldn't see or do very often. And everybody's like, we've done it twice. We did it in 77 and in 84. And I hated it then, and if it ever happens again, I'd hate it again. It's like, I thought 77 and 84 was kind of cool. Driving around.
84?
I don't remember. I
84.
remember I was at Mike Backert's house, and Sabina was trying to remind me too. I don't have a vivid memory of that one. I do remember the 77 one. But the 84 one, I reach a little bit. I'm not sure. I like the distinct seasons. That's another reason why I like winter. And I like snow, I think. Same reason why I like summer and I like fall. Spring.
Sad for Christmas trees after Christmas Day. I love, one of my favorite things, and I swear I wish I could find one, is a Christmas tree lot. The last time I saw one, I always wanted to work in that little camper. You know, they would always be like a little camper in the circle of lights, and it's just Christmas trees, and it's up against the winter sky. And you're in a mall parking lot, in the periphery of a mall parking lot. And it just seemed like such a cool thing. You never see them anymore.
Christmas tree lots?
I can't remember. Do you see a Christmas tree lot?
Oh, they have one at the IKEA
Where?
in Burlington.
Yeah.
What's your favorite snow memory?
Okay, I think it's probably like lying on the snow, maybe.
Lying on the snow.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah, just the feeling of lying on the snow is nice. But yeah, or maybe being. It's very like what I like about snow is that it makes everything very close.
What's your favorite kind of snow?
But then there's that snow when like you're sitting somewhere and you see the sunshine, like when the sun is out.
The glitter.
And then like, yeah, and you can see it through the icy snowiness.
The glitter snow.
Yeah.
It's a technical term.
Glitter snow. And it's untouched.
Mm-hmm. started late last night. Back from the bar, everything but me being covered by the snow. I wonder if everything will be white come the morning. And when I awoke, you were projecting the film from your bedside windowsill upstairs against the empty red building's wall, a backdrop for the snow to fall. Up and down and all around, a dense swirl of snowflakes, sometimes moving slowly, then suddenly speeding up and slowing down, a motion picture, projected from your bedside windowsill upstairs for everyone. I love mornings like this, when there's nothing pressing, just a nice view and some room for thinking. Then I bundled up and went outside to take pictures for the future and frostbite for the present. From what I can tell, it will never stop. Back and forth, and back and forth, then back to the future of wherever to whenever. You wanted to go along with the snow, so pack it up and leave. There's more to conceive if you practice to perceive and then believe that you can weave the past into the present of the half-moon's crescent on a winter's night lacking any hint of light and not a creature in sight. So go back and go forth and never go back again into the past, because you know it just won't last.
my aunt and uncle came over for a visit with my cousins, and we went to Niagara Falls.
Okay.
And the rails were all iced over, and there were chunks of ice everywhere. And even though it was freezing cold, it was so pretty.
The railings along the falls?
Yeah, it was very pretty. And then I can remember walking back from school, and it would probably be late winter on the cusp of spring, and pretending like I was in the North Pole or Alaska, and you know, you'd have like the big blocks of ice and the puddles around it, and you'd pop over so that your feet wouldn't get wet. And actually, I remember that being kind of lonely. Nobody's around. There's a bit of humidity, a bit of warmth to the air, but there's still that cool underlay. And I can remember going ice skating at the local ice rink. We used to take the baseball fields and put buffers around them and flood them.
Buffers? Boards?
Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Boards.
Buffers.
And flood them. And, you know, there was one for hockey, which I was not a fan of. And I used to hate it when the people would come over to our rink to play hockey, because that's not what it was for. But I also remember that I would go. Skater? Yeah, it wasn't bad. And I used to go every day. And there was one day where it was so windy, and my dad said, "You're not going to be able to skate." It thought that, like a few days before, it's so windy today, that ice is going to be like so bumpy and crazy. And I didn't care. I went out there anyway. And it was really bad. But it was still fun.
Who did you go skating with?
Most of the time I went by myself. It was just up the road. So I could just fling my skates over my shoulder and away I went. It was good.
How old were you?
Then I was probably about 10 or 11. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, here we are again with a Santa helper. Ann, you look like you've just come from the North Pole.
Yes, I did. I flew in today, Commander Tom.
Good. Well, we're going to make some things here today, it looks like, and you're going to show us how to do that.
Yes, we are. See, my special job up at the North Pole isn't what most of the kids think it is. I don't just make Miss Piggy dolls or toy trucks or toy trains. Instead, I make fuzzies. These little animals here, made out of pom-poms like I've got here on my elf uniform.
I read the words I don't understand in my brand new cardboard French. Sounding, I think, delicious. I read them on the couch, by the window, off the back of a Rice Krispies box. There's always more French words than English. I've always wondered why. My youth wanders through the Saturday morning cartoons. My son picks in through a hole in the old Thorold Arena roof. Drinking hot chocolate out of a plastic cup, helping the timekeeper run the clock, hoping to announce a goal over the PA system. Goal scored by number 4, Chris Bortolato, assisted by number 7, Stu Christie, and number 2, Chris Felker. The toaster heater is suspended from the ceiling, keeping nothing warm. Mike Murphy drawing a picture of a slice of hash on the back of a game sheet, telling me you could put it in a hamburger. All sleepy-like, I navigate a frozen tar and cement Monday and Thursday before school. Hockey equipment nudging my ribs, more hot chocolate, and there again, solid black rubber smack on newly paved gleam, new arena filled with cinder block quiet, and primary colored empty seats. All my heroes were 2 years older than me. Bimmer, Egghead, Stewie, and Chuck. Chucky was tough. I remember after I got in the fight in Grimsby, he slapped my 11-year-old back and never mentioned me falling when I took my first swing. Packing snow aimed at telephone poles, Rob Van Marcel's runny nose. Wet sunshine filled icicles impaled in melting snow. Saturday afternoons, clomping buckles on winter boots, the kind with the gray lining that would come out of the boots and taking them off. We'd go public skating and constantly be forced to sit off for terrorizing everyone, rink rats in particular. Even the one time they let us hang out in the room upstairs. I didn't smoke. I lied though and told him that Bobby Clarke was my uncle. We both spelled Clarke with an E. This has all been inspired by a Rice Krispies box. Cartoons. This morning's snowdrift views stiffen unchanged into the afternoon. The little boy in the red toque who walked like a toy soldier in the brown, noisy I imagine snowsuit, who paused momentarily while passing my house. Today I grab my skates, I locate ice, I take 2 then 3 fully stretched strides, and then I just glide. Favorite memory of winter? From any point in your life.
No.
Could be old,
Favorite
young,
memory of winter, eh? That is tough.
somewhere in between. Any teenage Christmas memories? I think we've got a bit of a void in terms of teenage Christmas stories. Puberty.
Man, I'm telling you, like
Christmas.
I've been thinking about this, and like I got
nothing. Not okay. I'll open it up. Winter.
Wasn't that the topic originally? I actually opened it up to that extent. Winter in my head. Favorite memory of winter.
Right. Or just a poignant memory. Do you have like a poignant memory?
Christmas.
Portion of your brain?
Christmas.
Because that's what I was saying.
Christmas is great. Yeah.
So best Christmas memory. Or just any Christmas memories.
I don't know, I feel like I'm on the spot right now. I feel like
First present you were like, damn, that's an awesome present.
Oh, okay. So the He-Man Castle Grayskull. Getting that was pretty killer.
Big He-Man.
The 8-bit Nintendo.
Are you a She-Ra fan at all?
No She-Ra. No, there's
8-bit Nintendo.
8-bit Nintendo,
So
the
what was
original.
in the games?
Well, it comes with Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario, Duck Hunt. Yeah, it was pretty exciting era.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
So what would you like? How would you rate your proficiency at Duck Hunt? Just like
unbelievable.
Was there a rating system? I can't remember.
I beat the game. The way you beat the game is you have to get enough points to basically reset the clock, and that's the only way you beat the game. And then you beat the game because it all goes to 0. So it's like 1,000,000 points.
It's like infinite.
Yeah.
It's like better than 1,000,000.
And
It's
you
like
just keep
infinite.
going. So I shot so many clay discs.
Right.
It doesn't really matter.
Right.
Whatever I shot.
Nice. Were you like the only kid? You got a sister.
I have a
Were you
older sister and a
older?
younger sister.
Oh, okay. Alright. So you're like the middle child.
Yeah, exactly.
Does this explain stuff? Like when you look at yourself, do you think, I'm definitely a middle child?
You know,
I'm not sure what is the psychological profile for a mid child? Like you're in need of attention? Like is that...
I was obsessed with fair when I was young.
The word fair.
When I was
like, that's
fair,
not fair.
just, that's not fair. This isn't fair. You get
equality,
this.
justice.
Yeah, but more so like that's not fair, and I'm not getting. It's about me. And I'm not getting enough. That's not fair. Not really for justice for all. There was no.
Right, like if you were given $10 and one of your sisters was given 0, you wouldn't be like,
I wouldn't.
Hey,
fight.
wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
split this with her
like,
right
here,
now.
take this $5. That's right.
Yeah.
This is not fair.
Yeah, no,
so
it wasn't like that.
But the other way around.
Exactly.
Right.
So, but now I'm totally. I don't know. There are evidences all around us that life isn't fair. So.
True. You're more accepting of this life
I'm
isn't
more
fair
accepting
thing?
as it's a reality that life is unfair.
Right.
But that's okay. I mean, that means it could work out in my favor or against me. But all in all, it's going to be lopsided somewhere somehow.
The Virgin Mary had a baby boy, and they said his name was Jesus. He comes from the glory. He comes from the glorious kingdom. He comes from the glory. He comes from the glorious kingdom. Oh yes, believers. Oh yes, believers. He comes from the glorious kingdom. And then it's like da 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 da.
No, you guys have exhausted most of Christmas songs, I know.
You, Daddy, watch out. Oh, we can make up our own Christmas song.
Or we could maybe just like take a break from Christmas songs.
Oh, but that's not fun. We can make up our own Christmas song.
Okay.
Back in the day when it was sunny side up with Ketchup, my dad waking me and only me up. My dad fresh off a midnight shift at Hayes Dana, smelling of oil and grease and new car, cologne and cigarette smoke. My dad waking me and only me up to be his co-pilot on a breakfast mission through empty-streeted winter darkness, through heavy winter cold, driving on streets stained with salt, framed by boulevards piled high with freshly plowed snow. Back when it was sunny side up with Ketchup. Breakfast at the Lancer on Hartzell Road, back when the Lancer seemed massive to me, and the friendly giant decor seemed entirely appropriate. And nothing was more exciting than co-piloting my dad's missions, be they late night drives on gravel roads, early morning mushroom picking in forgotten parts of Niagara, or just breakfast before the sun came up. My dad, hair slicked back, ankle-high leather boots, and his rectangular cigarette pack sitting in the front pocket of his dress shirt. Back in the day when my dad had eggs over easy with lots of pepper, the more bacon the better, and always made the waitress laugh. Back in the day when I couldn't imagine a world without the man seated across the table from me. Back in the day when it was sunny side up with Ketchup.
Yeah.
I remember Dad would be so frustrated Christmas morning putting stuff together. He hated it so much.
Oh, I know. When he put that car together, though, well, my dad did a lot of it too. Remember that car you had one year?
Yep.
Yeah. That took a lot of patience. He was just about going out of, you know, my dad come up and he said, "Oh, let me help you," you know, Dad.
Right.
Dad, calm, cool, and collective, smoking his pipe, and did it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had a lot of patience. But oh, you loved that car.
The idea is to tell a story, and then the story will be put over top of some really...
I understand.
Okay.
I tell a story about how, I didn't have anything, and then Orange would be very, very happy.
You don't have to tell that particular story. I think that's a nice story. I think it's a good reminder to the world that sometimes just an orange can make you feel good. You don't need a ton of stuff.
No, we weren't doing something like that. We were spending a lot of time outside, though.
Okay, what were you doing outside? Just standing around, or?
No, like, what do you call it? Like the sled, sledding,
Sledding?
Tobogging, or? Yeah.
Tobogganing?
Like that.
I know, I think of Poland more as a tobogganing nation, as opposed to a sledding nation. I think every nation decides at some point whether it should be a sledding nation or a tobogganing nation. So you go tobogganing? Who are you going tobogganing?
One thing I can tell you for sure, that when I was a child, going down the farm, I didn't spend so much time hating winter as I do now. And I don't know why is that. Because I'm sure I was conscious of cold, and it was as nasty as it is now. But now I hate it more, much more. Maybe because I'm an adult and I don't appreciate those things. I don't know. But I like winter. Now I don't.
Not even like you see Christmas lights.
Think about it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You call me. You haven't seen me for almost 2 years. And then you ask me, and you record me, and you ask me questions, and I'm supposed to be answering the question. We need to reconnect first, and then I
think so? But my concern is that these aren't very interesting answers.
Sorry?
My concern is that these aren't very interesting.
You have to invest in friendship.
I'm willing to do that.
Then I can invest that.
Okay, and I'm willing to do that. Like, as far as the investment goes, all I need is a promise that the answers you will give me for questions like this will be more interesting.
They would be very interesting. I see the stories. Oh my God.
So you have like a storage of really interesting, charismatic answers. You're just refusing to go into it.
Holding them because I don't.
Right, you're holding them hostage almost, and then it's all because I haven't devoted the amount of time I should to driving to a giant, silly city and navigating crazy traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Caroline will be there. She won't be working though.
Okay, well maybe we can do the garage.
Yeah, well it's kind of cold in the garage, man. It's wintertime.
Hey, that's what it's about, winter.
That's true. I don't think it's about trying to make music in freezing cold though.
But you're not getting the whole feel.
I guess I'm not. You're right. All songs about winter and Christmas should be recorded in sub-zero temperatures, or else they're just not real. They're fake.
There's a song right there.
Dean Martin, Where do you think Dean Martin was recording all that crap? Las Vegas and stuff.
That's right.
That's phony Christmas music.
This conversation should be on the album right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably should. I am recording it right now, actually, by the way, our conversation.
No, you're not.
I swear to God, I am, just in case you said something brilliant, which you, of course, did. It's just a matter of time. I just got, like, I can flip a little egg timer and... Oh, Mark said something brilliant again. Flip it over.
Thank you.
It's like, your money, brother, your money. Enjoy your New Year's.
Okay, you too. What are you doing? Anything?
Nah, just a low key night at home.
Yeah, okay.
Do you?
I'm working, so.
Oh wow, enjoy that. I imagine that's got to be a crazy night.
I only work till 11, so hopefully I'm out of there before anything happens.
All the insanity ensues.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Oh, I saw an interesting person the other day at the hospital. Someone brought her in. A cop brought in this woman. She had a hoodie on. She looked like the Exorcist. Reagan. Linda Blair. I was like, oh my God, that's
really?
the Exorcist. And then I turned around the corner. There's a man in a dress with pink hair, boobs, nails. And I'm like, oh.
Really? What was the matter with him?
I have no clue. No clue.
Oh man, hanging out in the hospital, eh? That's the way to go.
That's it, buddy.
It's non-stop.
That's the life of a paramedic. Men with boobs.
Perfect fire only true. Snow landing is blue. You walked into the room. stay still, maybe the world will move. Got a big fire on the tube. You're crackling up the road.
For the first time in days, commercial flights are moving at the Buffalo airport. And where else would one of the first planes be heading but beautiful downtown Fort Lauderdale? Sheila Allen has details.
United Airlines Flight 955 to Fort Lauderdale may have been 4 days and almost 2 hours late, but they were hardly one passenger short. It was the first flight to leave Buffalo for the warmer climate since the most recent stage of the Great Blizzard of '77 hit last Friday night. Passengers were not the least bit concerned about the delay, however. They were just happy to be heading away from the snow and recent predictions of a freeze heading in this weekend.
Wonderful. We've been trapped since Friday with our entire family of 7 people in one home, unable to leave. And although we enjoyed our family, but it got a little airy towards the end.
Well, we were leaving since Saturday. We were going to drive, and then luckily we were able to take United out today.
Oh, we're thrilled to pieces. We're going to Florida on a vacation. Only we heard that there's a cold front coming in down there. So we're taking a hot water bottle.
It feels marvelous. I felt like I was up in Siberia.
We packed our beds each morning for the last 5 days.
For record and information, the weather forecast in Florida is 56 degrees and sunny. Sheila Allen, First Team News.
And a reporter who didn't stay on that plane isn't worth her salt, Sheila. That's the evening edition produced by John Krieger, directed by Mike Cunningham. Now stay tuned for the CBS Evening News and join with Chuck, that is, and Chuck.
ceiling.
There's a television first. I'd never been introduced by a groundhog before. Well, maybe the Buffalo Sabres should reduce their playing roster to 16 men. They played a magnificent game against Montreal with that number, but with a full complement, they got bombed by the New York Islanders last night. They started well. Rick Martin, set up by Jules Perreault, almost loses it there, but gets it by for the first score. Danny Gare also getting an assist there. But the Islanders came right back. Jerry Hart tied it up, a slap shot. They went right on through. Jerry Desjardins takes a late look at that one. Martin did it again for the Sabres. Korab on the slap shot, and Martin right there in the circle tipped it in, and he had 2 goals, 31 for the night or for the season. The Islanders then scored 4 in a row. Lorne Henning with the shot here was blocked momentarily. Right there, Lee Fogelin almost gets a stick on it, but it slides in.
Residents of Ashland Avenue in Buffalo conducted a snow blitz of their own today. The whole neighborhood between Bird and Potomac was out with coal shovels, pickaxes, and ice choppers, breaking off hard-packed snow in chunks, clearing a street that has not been plowed for some time. They cleared a section, moved a parked car, then got back to clearing the street. And those who weren't shoveling manned the Coffee and Sandwich Brigade, a stand in the middle of the street. The neighborhood effort paid off. The army of shovelers cleared Ashland Avenue right down to the pavement, curb to curb.
So what went on in Ridgeway? What would you do?
I mean, when it was nice and quiet, it was perfect for just going out as a kid and having fun, like building snow forts. And I was an only child, so I mean, it was kind of lonely when you make a snow fort because there's no one to attack. Other than, like,
or be attacked by
mailboxes and stuff you could throw some snowballs at. But I did have this one neighbor that she would spend a lot of time with me. She was like an aunt or a second mother or something because she didn't have any children of her own. They were all grown up, and they had a farm across the street. And it's funny that we're talking about winter because her last name was Claus, so it kind of fits right in. But she would enjoy spending time with me, and because I had no siblings or anything, her and I would do winter activities together. And I remember they lived on a farm. Everything was all old and out of date. And she would take me into the barn, and they would have these old skis, like these 12-foot cross-country skis that were entirely made of wood. And they weighed like 20 pounds each. She would strap me into these skis and give me the poles, and we would just go down the road. And we wouldn't have to worry about any cars because nothing's for miles around. And
what is Ridgeway? Technically, what is that? What city is that?
Well, it's part of the town of Fort Erie. So I guess it's classified as a village within a town? I really don't know.
Fort Erie's a town? I thought Fort Erie's a city, man.
No, it's a town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So we lived right by a hill, like right by the lake, Lake Erie. We were probably like a 2-minute walk from the lake. And between our houses and the lake was a great big hill. And we would start at like the top of the road. And going downhill was easiest, but we would just ski down the middle of the street, down the hill. Getting back up wasn't that fun. But yeah, just skiing down the middle of the road. Everything was quiet. Between that and there was also, right next to this hill that we were skiing down on the road, there was a hill that was off the road, same hill, but we would toboggan down it. And just, the thing I remember most is nobody being around, just everything being quiet. You don't have to worry about any kind of trouble, you don't have to worry about anything like that because, like we said, the bad people go away when it's cold and snowy and all that stuff outside. So
pure.
Yeah. I mean, growing up in a small town too, there wasn't much going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the quietness.
Still keep in contact with those people from across the road, like.
Oh yeah.
I like the way you say winter activities. It sounds so formal.
Yeah.
Winter.
There's a whole range.
Like you got like a book that was sent to you at the start of the year with here are the winter activities you're participating in this year. Yeah. That and I also think of like barns. Because like if you're going into a bar to find skis, the only kind of skis they can be is old. Yeah. And I wonder like if there was ever a time where, because barns are all old now, you would think there'd be a juncture in time in which barns were all new.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to go to the farm. I don't want to go to the barn. I mean, I'm tired of the new stuff. I want to stay here in the old city.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's ever a moment where people would say that it's too new out there. All these farmers are all caught up in the future and the modern stuff, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these modern farmers and their new barns and stuff. So like they got brand new skis in the garage, big long wood ones. Like they're too good for the big longer wood ones. What would have predated?
These 100-pound skis that I've got.
Right, but the 200 pound. They're too good for 200 pound skis. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what would predate those. What was before that?
Cut the trees down and strap
them to your feet. Yeah. There is a video here, by the way. Snow falling on a closed playground. It says that. See this sound.
See this sound?
Yeah. Snow falling at dawn.
It's like, do you hear what I'm saying right now? Or sorry, do you see what I'm saying?
A small receptacle holds a piece of magnetic tape that has the form of a loop. Snow falling at dawn is one of Yoko Ono's earliest works. I didn't see that coming at all.
Oh my.
That's okay. We can veer past that.
Yeah, we don't want to listen to Yoko Ono.
There are a wide variety of snow falling sounds recorded in some seriously blocked page.
Blocked, yeah.
So obviously, I mean, our company would have to align itself against the erotic sound of snow falling.
Yeah.
Snow sounds an onomatopoeic. Good for you.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I forget. It's I know onomatopoeia is a form of writing. Is that where? No, that's alliteration, where everything sounds the same.
Well,
same start of the word.
I mean, really, this stuff all seems kind of suspect, or to involve Yoko Ono. Which I think is the very definition of suspect, actually.
I think we're going down the wrong road if we're looking up videos of Yoko Ono.
I think we could probably stop this now.
But you have to erase it afterwards.
Sure.
And you're being recorded that you're going to erase it.
Yeah.
Okay. What should I sing?
What do you want to sing, baby? Sing a Christmas song.
Sing a Christmas song? Okay. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. It's bad, eh?
Huh.
Okay, wait,
Round version.
Okay, maybe a different way. You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen, but do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph
stinking small. I'm gonna tell you, I was like, literally, I'm not pretending like I remember this like yesterday, but I have memories of, I'm gonna say, 3 or 4 or 5 years old. I'd be laying in bed, and they were a Scottish crowd, and the Scottish crowd would be drunk, and they would take turns singing. And there was no music on. People had their songs, and they would go around one at a time, and everyone would sing a song. And I would get up and go walking in, and then everybody thought I was, this is the cutest, most marvelous thing. Oh, look at Stuart! Oh, come on! And I'd sit on people's laps while they were singing and stuff. And
do you remember any songs?
My dad, I remember. Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett?
What was that called? San Francisco Streets.
Streets of San Francisco? There was a show. San Francisco Streets? I don't know much Tony Bennett.
There was a song about...
very good. Thank you.
I got the... My mom always had a different song. My mom used to tell me about how annoying it was when we've been hanging out with these people for like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 years, and some of these people sing the same song. And she used to change her song all the time, like every however many weeks or years or months. She would practice and come up with a different song, and she couldn't believe that these other people would just sing the same song over and over. It's like, she would even ask them, can you change your song? Can you sing something else for once in your friggin' life? Wow, I like that song. Yeah, it's apparent, it's evident that you like that song, but you know what? There are other songs. I left my heart
in San Francisco.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's what my dad used to sing. And he was one of the people that my mom used to ask to change.
The great Scottish classic. I was picturing like Scottish.